For the month of October, the animal control officer handled 54 of those 70, issued 3 warnings and 2 citations. In our community contacts, officers handled 257 community contacts for the month of October. So we're doing really good.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions from council? No? Any further staff reports?
Good evening. I have a couple for the Financial Services Department. Let's see. The Invoice Cloud implementation is on its way. We are expecting to go live in February 2026. And then the travel policy was signed by city manager, and that was effective as of November 1st, 2025. And we are going to be providing training, and these training will be either pre-recorded videos or in person or through Teams. And it's going to be for those who travel. And so we look forward to that as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any questions from council? Seeing none, moving on to our new assistant city manager, Mr. Barone, and we appreciate you being with us tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few quick updates, nothing personnel related. We are making some progress on the gazebo project, so we're hoping to have that ramp poured to the gazebo by the parade, which is December 6th. So we're hoping to have that complete. We're making some progress on the commercial truck parking situation, so more to come on that. But we are starting to issue warnings to the commercial trucks parking on the private property. Derek Tank, we're very hopeful that will be online tomorrow, pending getting our levels correct and getting the state approval. Making progress on some of our civil improvement projects. The splash pad where we have 90% drawings, and we're looking to go to bid hopefully soon, and hopefully have a better update for you next meeting, and hoping to move forward on the solar projects at the wastewater and the water plant coming up. So a lot of civil improvement projects. We're very excited.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Any questions from council? No? Seeing none? I appreciate it. So we're going to move on to item number 2.1, which is recognizing Mayor Pro Tem Horn's service on the City Council. And we're also going to recognize Mayor Horn for the time that he spent as mayor as well. And I have a certificate. I guess you want to read it here, or do you want to go up?
We can do it here.
We'll get pictures after I read it then. How about that? All right. So, certificate of appreciation in recognition of your dedicated service and commitment to the City of Coalinga and its residents during your tenure on the City Council from January 2021 through November 2025. During your service as council member, mayor, and mayor pro tem, you have demonstrated strong leadership, integrity, and a steadfast dedication to the betterment of our community. Your thoughtful decision-making and commitment to public service have contributed greatly to the progress and success of the City of Coalinga, and this is awarded to James Horn. Yeah. And we're going to take some pictures real quick, but also, let's make sure this isn't going to fall. This is actually the first gavel that I know of that we've brought forth in the City of Coalinga. And it used to be things like city of the key to the city and things of that nature. But I asked if a gavel wouldn't be more prudent for a mayor. And so you're the first to obtain this award. And I appreciate all of the service that you've given to the city. If you don't mind, maybe we could go down there and take a couple pictures.
Claim your wins for a better photo.
So after the meeting is over, which I don't know exactly when that'll be, we're gonna have time for pictures with Mayor Pro Tem.
Table that one item, you probably can, but.
Yes. And we will try and make this as easy as possible for everyone. Okay, moving on to item number 3, citizens' comments. This section of the agenda allows members of the public to address the city council on any item within the jurisdiction of the council. Members of the public, when recognized by the mayor, should come forward to the lectern, identify themselves, and use the microphone. Comments are normally limited to 3 minutes. In accordance with state open meeting laws, no action will be taken by the city council this evening. All items will be referred to staff for follow-up and a report. Citizens' comments submitted in writing to the city by 5 p.m. on the day of the city council meeting shall be distributed to the city council and included in the record, however, they will not be read. Do I have any citizens' comments? So let's go with,
Nathan, I do have 3 people who filled these out for,
okay, for discussion.
for citizens' comment section.
Okay,
Just wanted to go over, we've had quite a few events here lately and quite a few things coming up. A couple weeks ago, we had our Kalinga Fest. And I did want to bring up that we utilized the services of the Alta Ed, that Helping Hands program that was here in Chambers at the last council meeting. And they were phenomenal. We had 17 students show up to help with the kids area, and they were wonderful with the kids. We didn't have a single issue. That's probably one of the smoothest kids' play zones we've had. They did a wonderful job. We hope to be using them quite a bit in the future. Last Saturday was our annual wine walk event. We had about 120, down about 40 from last year, but there's a lot going on this weekend. We had a high school home playoff game. Oilers had JV and senior in the playoffs on Saturday. A little bit, yes, but youth thriving and out there competing in a great level. Coming up, November 29th is our annual holiday boutique. It will be at the CHUSD Hub there at the high school. It's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is for, holiday shopping. It's right at the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's just crafters and that kind of thing. We don't have the informational, the food booths and all that. It's just more for holiday shopping. And then a week after that, as you all know, is our annual Let Your Light Shine Christmas Parade. December 6th, 6 p.m. down the plaza. Right now, we're sitting at about 35 entries already. It looks like it's going to be a great turnout. Also, by Monday, I intend to have the nomination ballots ready for this year's Community Service Awards. There are going to be a lot of changes this year that I'll be bringing to you probably at the next meeting. 2 of them are that we're adding 2 new categories. We're going to do a home business category because we have so many new businesses coming in. You have the Big Bellies, you have the Squeeze Squad, Estamos Enchiladas, Kalinga Sourdough, and them not having a brick and mortar per se. We want to give them an opportunity to be recognized too, because they are giving back to a lot of the organizations here in town, sports and youth and what have you. So that is one of the new categories, as well as we're going to have an Educator of the Year category this year as well. We're going to have a new venue for this event. We'll be coming out with more information on that. We should be able to increase attendance by about 100 people and also lower ticket price, hopefully by about 30%. So it's going to be a good event, and we look forward to everything coming up ahead. Thank you, guys.
thank you very much, Scott. Anyone else for public comment? Yes, ma'am?
Hello, I'm Jeanette Davies. I wanted to stop by and introduce myself. I'm the new library director, as the mayor knows. And so I wanted to stop by and talk to you about the library for a little while. And the first thing I always ask people is, if you don't have a library card, you should get one, or let you know. So I invite you to stop by the library to get a library card. Our great circulation attendant, Hilda, will help you out and get you a card. And if you don't know, we have an online collection, which is Libby, which a lot of people like to use. It's a digital collection, very convenient. You can listen to things while you're driving, you're commuting. It's a really great resource. So I want to make sure that you are aware of that. And also, I want to introduce, in January 2026, we have a new initiative that we invite you to participate in with us, and we're going to introduce the Mayor's Book Club. Since we have the mayor that actually does IT for the library system, we think it's appropriate time, put you on the spot, Nathan, but we think it's appropriate time to introduce the Mayor's Book Club. It seems very apropos since he's our colleague. And so we're going to have a little committee, and we're going to work with some of our other librarians and library staff, and we're going to be coming up with a collection of books. And we would really encourage that. I know Nathan and I are going to read them for sure, but so we invite all of you to help us as well. And then we'll open it up for a discussion. There's so many great titles out there. If you ever need a recommendation for particular things that you are interested in, reading, gardening, whatever you like to do, the library, as you know, we have topics on everything. Lots of choices, lots of CDs, lots of DVDs for your weekend. A lot of library materials that we would really love to share with the community. And if you also have suggestions for the library, you can always fill out a comment card, and we will do our best to try to add that to our collection. So I just wanted to let you know about that. I'm really excited to be here. And we also have a library in Huron, as you know. And so you'll be seeing me around, and if you have questions, let us know. There's a great team here, a great team of library professionals, and I'm happy to join them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and welcome to Coalinga, and welcome to the library. We appreciate that. All right, do we have any other public comments? I have 3 comment cards I was going to go off of. So if you turned in a public comment card, I was going to call you by order. If you did you turn it? Okay, so let's go by anyone who didn't turn in a comment card first. Okay, seeing none, we'll go from the comment cards. Raymond Cabral.
Good evening. Excuse me. Good evening, Council. My name is Raymond Cabral. I have the privilege of serving the City of Coalinga for 7 years, first as a maintenance worker and now as a water treatment operator. I am here on behalf of my coworkers and my union, SEIU 521. I am here to discuss the staffing and retention crisis within the city. As a maintenance worker, we are tasked with maintaining, installing, and repairing the city's infrastructure, including but not limited to natural gas, sewer, and fresh water. During my time as a maintenance worker, we frequently experience shortage in staffing, causing operators to work extended hours with limited support. Occasionally, maintenance operators are required to work extended shifts reaching up to 24 hours consecutively. I can personally recall on more than one occasion where I have worked long hours. At times, I have been completely submerged underwater in order to fix major water leaks. Retaining highly trained and qualified employees is crucial for the efficient functioning of city services. Failing to offer competitive compensation often leads to high turnover as skilled professionals seek better pay in the private sector or other municipalities. By providing fair and competitive wages, the city can stabilize its workforce, reduce costly disruptions, and guarantee that the public services our residents rely on deliver by a dedicated and highly proficient team. In closing, this proposed wage increase is an investment to the city's future, ensuring we attract and retain dedicated professionals required to deliver the exceptional services that our community deserves. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Going to move on to Brandon.
Good evening. My name is Brandon Lasso. I am a maintenance technician. I've been with the city for almost 2 years. I'm also a member of SEIU 521. I would just like to say I enjoy my job, helping provide for the people. However, as a father and a husband, I also need to provide for my family as well. Before I started with the city, I was laid off from my job and was left jobless with nothing to find for work for over 4 months, and was forced to move back with family members to keep my family together. Since I have started, I've been able to barely afford groceries after just paying off current bills plus the debt I have accumulated. Eventually, I was able to move back into a place of our own, but now I'm back to barely being able to afford the bare necessities after paying for bills, especially rent, especially now due to inflation. I have found it very discouraging, especially for other future candidates, to keep or want to build a career here, especially since there are other jobs that provide better pay for less labor for what we do. I bring this up not to speak on for a want, but a necessity. I say this for not only me, but the people who are also in that same position. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Brad Crabtree?
Good evening, City Council. My name is Brad. I am speaking on behalf of all general employees. I had a very interesting time looking up what the maintenance workers do in the city of Coalinga, and we are one of very many towns in California, in fact, that actually operates natural gas. Other cities, they have either contracted through SoCal or even PG&E. We buy our gas from PG&E. All your employees here are working not only the water distribution, but wastewater collection and natural gas services. But we do more than that. We are groundkeepers. We do meter reading. We are equipment operators. And the pay doesn't reflect it. For what we do and the work that we do and the long hours and days that we put into this city to make sure the water is running, it's hard to want to keep employees here. And when I got hired on, everybody was new. We had 3 members of the Public Works that were longer than 2 or 3 years here. We've had 2 maintenance guys, or 2 groundkeeper guys and 3 maintenance guys that have been here. I first applied for a groundkeeper position and I got filled, but shortly after I got hired on, we lost 2 more wastewater. And talking to employees that have left, there's no incentive to stay. And we can't even get the training that we want to move up because there's that fear of, well, that they're just gonna leave for another job, you know? And I get it. The fact that you have to put in 2, 3, 4 years just to even get training, we gotta keep our employees, man. We gotta keep our employees and do what's right. And for right now, we could leave and go to any other position for 20 to 25 an hour and not kill ourselves in 110 degree heat. It's crazy. For the work we do and the hours we put in, the pay doesn't reflect it. Our unit had 27 employees only 7 were hired between 2001 and 2015. The other 20 were hired since 2019. 20 employees were hired in 2019 and on. That's a big turnaround rate for our public works. Turnovers cost money. and a lot of it. Studies show that city spends double an employee salary each time a worker quits. That is money we could save by keeping experienced staff here. We appreciate the responsibilities you carry to manage our tax dollars, spend them wisely. Stable wages are not an expense, they're an investment for long term. Efficiency and safety, a city is only as strong as the workforce that keeps it running. We are asking for wages that allow our people to build a career here so they can build stability for years to come. That's all I have. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right. Do we have any more public comments?
Council member, community members, I'm here representing the Lions Club. I just remembered I probably should talk about this now since it'll be the last council meeting before the turkey trot. So just a reminder, this coming Thanksgiving, November 27th, is our annual turkey trot that we're going to try and get going. We'd like to see you participate in it. And if you don't want to participate in it like me, I don't run. If I'm running, somebody's dying. So we also would like to get some volunteers. We really need some volunteers that would come out and help us organize it and do that kind of stuff. So I know I can always rely on Tom. So I appreciate that. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, I'm not running it. Our local celebrity Jessica is actually running it. But if you have any comments, concerns, or want to participate, let me know and I'll be happy to help you and point you in the right direction. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public comments. And I do want to remind people that if you would like to speak on a discussion item, to please fill out a discussion card. Do we have any discussion cards right now? No? Okay. So if this is something you're interested in, please, in the interest of time, fill out a discussion card so we can make sure we don't miss you. We're going to move on to public hearings, which we have none. We're going to move on to the consent calendar, where we have 15 items. Is there any items that council would like to pull?
Yeah, 5.7.
$5.3.
Anyone else? Okay, I would like to pull 5.2, 5.4, 5.10, and 5.14, and don't worry, it's just going to be for brief overviews. Yeah, so from the ones I'm going to do, yeah. So we'll go with number 5.2 first, which is information only. Cannabis-related revenue. I just like to, just for the public's information.
Do you have them up, Maya, or do you want me to? Okay.
Oh, sorry. This is reporting for June 30th, 2025. This is the cannabis revenue that was collected as of 6/30 last fiscal year. We received 89% more than the expected budgeted revenue, which was about $278,685 more than what we expected. And that is due to I guess you can say late payments that we received later from the prior years or later in the years that we received in last fiscal year.
Excellent. Thank you. Any other council members have questions? Nope. Moving on to item number 5.3.
The transient occupancy tax. This is revenue reporting at 6/30, 2025. we received about, let's see, we received a total of $46,441 for the fiscal year. We do have two hotels that we are looking into as they have not been paying their TOTs. And so staff will be reaching out to them to make sure that they are paying their taxes. And I will have to say that Coalinga Motel has been one of the motels that we've dealt with in the past that has not been paying. So this is one of the hotels that we will surely be reaching out to first. Okay.
Councilman Horn, did you have any follow-up?
Yeah, are you guys going to be doing an audit beyond these 2 or 3 years to find out why they haven't been paying? Because those motels right now are packed, and they can't say they haven't gotten any money for the transient. I know cash doesn't exist because it's easier to hide, but
Yes.
there's got to be a way that we've got to be able to get some sort of a number from them. Because
Yes.
right now, they're not being transparent.
I'm sure they're not being transparent because of my past dealings with specifically to Coalinga Motel. The thing about the motel is that if, and also with TOT, is that if a tenant, they can actually live in the motel for more than 30 days and it would not be considered, we can't collect TOT for that. They would have to be there for less than 30 days, like they're traveling. That's how we can collect the taxes. And so when we do reach out to them, they do give us an audit is something that we do need to do, and that is something that I will have to say my staff or I don't have the expertise in that. However, we can look to see if there is someone who can help us with that so that we can do that audit.
Okay.
Anything else, Mayor Pro Tem? Okay. Any other council members have questions?
I think just real quick, so hotels can hold people for more than 30 days. Is that a normal thing?
No, we'll have to review that because if we can show that they are, technically hotels by zoning definition
Right.
are based on a certain timeline, and typically it's 30 days.
Mi-
So if they are
less
staying
than
over 30 days, then they become more of like an apartment
Right,
or
right, long-term.
short-term rentals. So we've got to look at that. If that is if that is an issue, we'll look into it
Okay.
and see what we can do about that.
Are we giving them an ETA on the response of what's gonna happen, like payment, what are they gonna do, what's their plan?
Yes. So usually when we do reach out to them, we give them 15 days as of the date of the letter.
Okay, all right, sounds good, thank you.
Anyone else on council have questions?
I do have another question. With all this being done right here, will it affect their business license in the end if there's no complying whatsoever?
Yes, I believe, yes, it will. And not only that, but I do believe the city, Mario, maybe you can help me on this piece.
Yeah, we've actually sued one of the hotels in the past, and part of that would be we do have to get all the records and basically go through compliance and figure out what they owe. We ended up settling that case. Again, I don't remember who it was with, but that would be a part of it is basically forfeiting their business license, so they're shut down.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions from council? All right, thanks, Mike. Item number 5.4, just one information.
Measure J revenue, this is reporting for June 30th, 2025. Measure J revenue was received about 6% less than expected, and that is mostly due to restaurants, people not dining out, so less taxes, and vehicles not being less taxes when there are less people buying new vehicles because of the prices. So that's what we were seeing.
Okay. Any other questions from council? All right, thanks, Mai. Moving on to item number 5.6, Councilman Schindler.
Yeah, I just wanted to pull this one real quick to see if the city treasurer, give her an opportunity to ask questions or have comments or concerns about this.
I believe this is in reference to what you had shared with me, Mai.
Yes.
And I did review it, and I did have questions, but there was a time frame on submission, so I didn't get the opportunity to ask those questions. And in general, I need education on it in general, going forward.
Okay, is that all you needed? Thank you.
Any other questions from council? Okay. Moving on to number 5.7, Councilman Hedgecock.
Yeah, I just wanted this one as information because there's been a lot of comments in the community about what kind of funding the city's been providing Gimme Love. So, John?
Oh, you just want me to read the information? Okay. The city's support has consisted of a fixed annual stipend to Gimme Love Animal Shelter, a recurring monthly stipend, occasional pass-throughs derived from individual council member donations, and non-cash facility support. So since basically between July of 2022 through October of 2025, $151,704 represents direct cash outlays only during the stated period. No cash contributions to facilities and utilities basically are part of that number. So the city pays the utilities. There's basically like a certain amount of utility allowance within the agreement that we have. And then also the facility itself is provided to Gimme Love as well. So that's part of the contractual agreement, and are excluded obviously from the, to avoid commingling cash and in-kind value. So that's basically the total that we have. To determine the actual full value, it's a little bit difficult. The utilities have been challenging to determine exactly because some of these facilities are mixed in terms of meters. It's difficult to determine exactly what all the utility costs are, but included in that 151 is basically the cash contributions. Everything else is additional outlay in terms of the facility and the utilities.
Thank you.
And I have one question on that. So is that 151, is that the cash amount, or is that
Yeah,
cash?
that's what we've
how much
that's
in
what we
cash?
contractually provided. That includes the contributions from the council members that donate their pay to Gimme Love, as well as all of the stipulations in the agreement between the annual stipend and then the monthly additional stipend that's provided as well.
Any other council questions? Seeing none? Okay.
I do, real
Okay.
quick on it. Are we still doing audits on the facility with the animals? Per 3 months per animal, max?
Those audits
before
aren't
the
being
payments?
provided, no.
Is there any way we can do that somehow?
We can review the contract and see what we need to do to look into that.
Okay.
Any other questions from council? Seeing none. Moving on to 5.10, authorization to purchase 325 pet microchips to support the community spay-neuter clinics.
All right, so this was a future agenda item by Mayor Vosberg. It's basically to authorize Gimme Love Animal Shelter to purchase 325 24 Pet Watch mini microchips for the December 4th, 2025 SNP bus clinic, and the late winter, early spring, which we don't have an exact date yet, is for the 2026 Animal Balance MASH clinic in coordination with the San Francisco SPCA and RSO Foundation. It'll basically authorize reimbursement from the animal control budget upon invoice and authorize the city manager and designee to execute all the related documents. This item, Gimme Love has been collaborating with RSO Foundation and San Francisco SPCA to deliver free low-cost spay and neuter services through the SNP bus and Animal Balance MASH events. These partner-funded clinics do not include microchips in their financial support packages. So as we just talked about the previous item, these additional, there's microchips that are included in their contract, but for these special events, that's not necessarily included. That's basically for normal operation to provide microchips when there's other types of vaccinations or any other type of scenario with the animals they receive. But for these special events, there's no additional funding for these events. And so microchipping is the best practice. The materially increases the likelihood of returning pets to owners, reduce shelter strays, and support overall animal welfare. So with that, procuring the 325 mini microchips now would ensure adequate inventory across both events, reduce per unit cost because they do get a cost benefit when it's over, I think, 100. And so we'll actually, I think there's $6.98, $6.90 each. So it'd be a total of $42.42.50 to support these two events. Staff has already worked with Gimme Love and supported the next week's SNP bus event. So we've already authorized so they are fully supplied for microchips for that event. But I wanted to bring this back to council for the subsequent events at the mayor's request, to ensure that these future events are supported as well, so they have all the microchips, because they're estimated to do they could do approximately 325 animals in between the December event and the MASH clinic. That doesn't include next week's event on the 19th here at the city parking lot.
So do you have the information on how many microchips we got for them last time and how many they used?
The ones we recently did?
Correct.
Well, there was an amount that we had given them 3,000 so they could purchase, but we were never given an amount that they had actually purchased. If we need to adjust that, I think we should do that so they have enough funding to cover it.
That I'm not familiar with, because I don't think I was involved in those original
We gave them
purchases.
3,000 the last go around for the chips.
Yeah, there's a certain amount. I think some of the funding, that the monthly stipend helps with the purchase of microchips. I'm not sure how many they purchased with our stipend money. The most recent one was 125, which was just about not even 2 weeks ago. But prior to that, I'm not sure. I think they said they had only 15 left when I talked to Lori prior to supporting the November 19th event. But I can look into that and see how many have been put into the city since, how many have been provided since however long back you want to go.
Yeah, I'd say just the last year, so that way we know if we need to adjust the funding to give them a little bit more based on how many they're actually servicing.
Okay.
now.
And I actually have a meeting scheduled with RSO and San Francisco SPCA prior to the SNP bus event. And so I'll be able to talk with them and find out what their plans are moving forward. Because really, I think what we're doing is a lot of this is supporting those additional events beyond, because unless they don't have enough just for normal operations, but if there's but this is really to support the special events. But if there is a need for just more during normal operations, we can get that information too.
So the reason that I did bring this forward was because I was told when I attended one of their events that they had ran out of their of the microchips and that they had been using some for previous events of the SNP bus. And so I wanted to make sure that the council could show our support that spaying and neutering animals and also getting them microchipped is important to stop, and to show the community that our dedication towards this, and then our dedication towards working with our partners as well. And so, I'd love to see that information brought back. That way we can further communicate that information with the community. And with that, does anybody else have any questions, comments? No? Okay. And then it looks like the last one is the strategic plan implementation Envision Coalinga project list monthly update. And I know that this list might be extensive, so if you just want to summarize a few that you guys are working on that you think are moving forward quicker than others, that'd be great.
Put me on the spot, Mayor. I'm gonna defer to my staff because they prepare most of these reports, so I've got to give them credit for all of this. So does anybody have some highlights on some of their projects that they want to highlight? Mercedes?
I would like to comment on the EV charging stations. I know Mayor Vosberg worked with Fresno County Rural Transit Agency. We had the juice boxes that were inoperable for almost over a year. He spoke with the general manager, and they fast-tracked on getting those charging stations installed at no additional cost to the city.
Thank you.
I'll go over all my projects. Landscaping city facility project of exterior upgrades completed. Ambulance rate increase completed. Improvements to training center in progress. Remodel fire department bathroom completed. Sponsor medic school and fire academy completed. Civic Ready training has been completed on my end. I'm now going to be turning it over to the public outreach coordinator for her portion of the training. And install fire department generator in progress. Major delays with PG&E. It's not us.
Thank you so much.
Just going to go down the list here. A couple of these we talked about. The Derrick Reservoir completion. We are anticipating completion relatively quickly, hopefully tomorrow, but I would anticipate, I hate to say definitely, but very, very hopefully next week, if not tomorrow. We are working on the ADA transition plan update that continues. The solar installations, we talked about permitting options for the water plant today. Wastewater plant should be moving forward relatively quickly because that's a city approval. The water plant, hoping to start moving forward with the splash pad plan and design completion in the next month or two. Let's see, we're hoping to help the fire department get the generator back up and running, or the new one up and running. Let's see, we have actually moved forward with AI-assisted building plan checks, which we're actually very excited about, where Robert is vetting the software as we speak. Some of them are very expensive, so obviously we're keeping costs in mind and trying to get the city bang for its buck there. But I think Robert's got a good handle on that. Let's see, we are hoping to move forward very quickly on the 3 ADUs on the Cedar site. Hopefully everybody's aware that that has changed from the Triangle lot to the Cedar site. So we're hoping to move forward on that very quickly. And that's all I have. So.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I just wanted some highlights to give the staff ability to highlight some of the things that have been happening. I know a lot of times the public doesn't have that direct, access to be able to understand what's going on and without pulling that stuff out. So I know some people do watch these, so I appreciate all the time that you guys put in. Anything else? If not, I'll move forward. Excellent. So we have 15 items on the consent calendar. Can I entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, consent calendar passes. We're going to move on to item number 6.1, adoption of resolution 4298, intention to vacate a public street easement on adjoining APN 083-090-47S and APN 083-090-52S, portions of Sacramento Street and Worthen Street, and setting a date for a public hearing. Sean? Oh, no, just Mr. Barone. My bad.
Thank you, Mayor. Quickly, this is just a staff recommendation that we adopt the resolution to set the hearing date for December 4th, the next meeting. Basically, what we're proposing is to vacate the easement that the Worthen apartment built on. So we're maintaining a 10-foot public utility easement, but they've already built on it, so it's more of a housekeeping item and just making sure the records reflect what has happened. So,
Excellent. Any questions from council? Seeing none, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 4298.
Then I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? 6.1 passes. Number 6.2, discussion, direction, and potential action regarding revision to the City Council Code of Conduct, council members' rights and duties, procedures for filing vacancies, and city treasurer responsibilities, and further introducing and waiving the first reading of ordinance number 875 related to the city treasurer roles and responsibilities. Looks like, Mario?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So just two kind of housekeeping items. So my understanding is we're going to pull the first reading, so that won't need to happen tonight. So the only thing up for consideration is the rules and responsibilities. This is the same item we've been bringing back and discussing probably the last 10 council meetings. And so the only other change that I have and that I would recommend is there is, in preparation for this meeting, we realized that there's a section H, subsection H, that deals with motions to reconsider an item. And looking at that, there's basically two sentences in that paragraph. The second sentence makes no sense, just from a English language standpoint. So the first sentence discusses that the council member can make a motion to reconsider the item if they bring it back during that same meeting. So my recommendation at this point, you're free to change it however you like, but my minimum recommendation is just to delete the second sentence because it makes no sense. So it should just be taken out, but council's free to discuss whatever it likes.
Council?
What is the second sentence? Because I don't have it here.
Sure. It's not, I guess maybe technically it might be the second sentence, but I'm gonna read it to you and you're gonna be like, huh?
Okay.
So it says, such motion must be made by one of the prevailing side, that's okay, but may be seconded by a member and may be made at a time and have precedents construed to prevent any member of the council from making or remaking the same or any other motion at a subsequent meeting of the council, so long as the ability to make such motion meets the requirements of applicable law.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't write that.
The first little piece of that is good, though.
The-
right?
Yeah, it starts off strong.
Yeah.
But kind of dies down there. So however, whatever the council prefers, it can obviously amend the language in any way it likes. But if you're going to do the minimum, I would say just delete the second sentence. You can propose whatever language you like tonight. You can come back and amend it again, completely up to the council.
I would say keep the first. Get rid of the rest of the second or third, whichever one it is. Yeah.
I'm in agreement with that.
Yeah.
What about the rest of council? Yeah? So you have consensus to just keep the first sentence and remove the rest?
That's fine, yes.
All right. And then, is that your only recommendation?
That's the only recommendation I have. We've made all the other changes that the council has discussed, so.
Okay. Council have any questions or anything that you would further like to see changed in the code of conduct? No?
The Brown Act, but I don't think we have a choice.
Okay, so, let's see here. Just thinking there was one more section in here. Very slight little change. Oh, yes. So the section on the city treasurer, for the code of conduct, I would just like to ask if the city treasurer would like to make any comments. I did, before we started the meeting, I did ask the city attorney and city manager if there was any substantial changes made to that. And maybe you can shine some light on that, Mario, and then we can ask the city treasurer as well.
Let's see. I don't believe we made any substantive changes to the code of conduct itself. I don't think that's changed at all.
It was basically more of a formatting where basically the way it was originally formatted for between the roles and like kind of what the roles and responsibilities in California are in terms of the government code, and then kind of what the council at prior meetings has suggested or recommended as roles and responsibilities. We've kind of just broken that up so it specifies in California, and then what the government code section has, and then clarifying that in the city of Coalinga, basically based on recommendations by the intent of the council, the two were the roles and responsibilities for the treasurer. But ultimately, the written procedures are going to really kind of dictate and guide the like what's provided, what the process of receiving those documents, what type of reports. This really just specifies the monthly report and the quarterly investment report. I think that was discussed at the last meeting. But the procedure process and that procedure document that, I think in the staff report, we identified that'll be at a subsequent meeting that will, and we have been in conversations with the treasurer, and we're trying to kind of still solidify that. So we have a proper process and procedure for, her to receive the proper documents, have access to particular areas. And then from there, that will kind of implement what the council's intent is behind the code of conduct.
Okay, so I just wanted to point out that one thing that I noticed that was kind of a point of contention last time that we just wanted to clarify is that she would have, and maybe this is going to go into the procedure section, but she will have access to the bank statements, and that she would also be listed on the bank account. Is that in the procedure section, or would that be in the code of conduct section?
I think some of that was actually already pre-drafted into the procedures, and those will be brought back once we finalize that.
Okay, so there's nothing in the code of conduct that takes away those abilities?
No, 'cause I think at the original conversation, I think what the city attorney brought up was that we wanted to ensure that we don't want to be too specific in the code of conduct, where the procedure document can be a little bit more specific and be easily amended, rather than having to have it always amend in the code of conduct. So the procedures will still have bearing on and relate to the code of conduct.
Okay, so the
So that'll be more
procedures is probably
specific.
going to be where the meat and potatoes
Yes.
is, and that's not on the table for
That's
today?
not on the table. No, this was just
Okay.
more of getting the language in the code of conduct. I think it's the same thing really with the ordinance. And then, but if we want to bring that back as well, we can.
Okay, so is the ordinance on the table for right now then, too?
The court ordinance has been pulled at the request of the treasurer, so that was requested by the treasurer to remove the first reading of the ordinance. So we'll have to follow up with her in terms of what changes we want from the ordinance, which we can talk with her afterward, and we can bring that back to you guys.
All right. Now I'd just like to give the city treasurer time to speak on this item, if she has anything that she would like to see changed, or just your general comments on this.
I did have a question as to the treasurer's report being reviewed by the city manager and the finance director for accuracy. Has that been the previous policy pertaining to the report?
I don't think we don't have it hasn't been a previous practice because we've never done this.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that's my reluctance with things going forward, because this position was incorporated and nobody can find the literature on that. And I know we're making big steps to change things and implement something for the future going forward. And so that's been my reluctance and my fight on things. It would have been much easier if that was clarified and we were able to access those records, which I find kind of ridiculous that the county doesn't have those records, nor do we, as a city, have those in our records hall. Do we have a records hall here?
No, filing cabinets.
Like a history record hall?
No, we've actually tracked down some of the documents. We've
wonderful.
been compiling the documents
Good.
from prior treasurers that have submitted reports. So, and Maya and I have been working on those, because that really kind of gears in towards the procedure document. That's what we're trying to compile. So when we have that conversation about the procedure document, then we would be able to that'll help us finalize and develop that once we're able to meet and discuss those as well.
Good.
And so, is your concern more with the procedure than the code of conduct itself, since the procedure is where they're going to be the meat and potatoes is?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, it is.
All right. So would you be okay with moving forward with the code of conduct how it sits, since we're going to bring back the procedure in the ordinance at a different date?
Yeah, but I do with a little, under a little bit of distress because I, don't understand the whole process. And I just want to be clear that we implemented code of conduct, but that is subject to change, right? If need be.
Yeah, we could change it. Correct? City Attorney?
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, everything's up to change.
Okay. Council have any further questions on the code of conduct? So we might be able to put this baby to bed. So there has been the minor change with the,
It's subsection H, deleting everything but the first sentence.
so could I entertain a motion?
I'd like to make a motion with keeping the first sentence and deleting the rest and moving forward.
It's been motioned?
And I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Let's do a roll call vote on this one.
Councilman Ramirez,
Aye.
Councilman Schindler,
Aye.
Councilman Hedgecock,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Horn,
Aye.
Mayor Vosberg.
And I vote aye, and that is amazing. We've been working on this for, I think, a year and a half to make sure that, the public and the council and the city treasurer and the staff are all on board. So that's pretty awesome. Appreciate that. All right. Okay. We are going to move forward with item number 6.3, review applications and possible appointment for city council seat to be vacated by Mayor Pro Tem Jim Horn, District 2. Mario.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me give you an overview, council, of and to the applicants, how we're going to proceed. So we started with the pre-interview verification with timely applicants, which we had 4, and 1 of them withdrew, so we're down to 3. The clerk has verified their eligibility, the 3 that are here tonight. We're going to have an interview. In a minute, I'll randomize the applicants. And then when the interview starts, they can provide an opening statement up to 5 minutes. Council will have any questions for them they can ask. The audience will have up to 10 minutes total to ask questions. And then if the applicant wants to give a closing statement, they can do so, and that'll be up to 3 minutes. After all the applicants have gone, we'll have another brief comment period, 2 minutes per speaker. And then after that will be council deliberation and voting. I'll go into that in more detail when we get there, how that's going to proceed. And then finally, there'll be a motion. Somebody will get appointed, and then we'll do the appointment and swearing in likely at the next meeting. It won't be tonight. Councilman Horn will finish out tonight, and then we'll do the swearing in at the next meeting. Do you have any questions?
Council good with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Any questions from the applicants? Okay, not seeing any. And just a reminder, the term of this appointment is going to be through 2026. The reason for that is based on the resignation occurring in the first half of Councilman Horn's term. That's how it works, and then this person will, if they choose to, they can run again at that time. So if I can have the applicants come on up. Come on up this way. I gotta randomize you.
And I just want to say, I did ask for Ron to go first, but I guess we're,
Draw a card.
that wasn't,
Draw a card.
that wasn't on the list. I did.
There'll be a 1, 2, or 3. Go ahead and hold on to that. There you go. And that's yours.
I'm number 2.
Okay, number 1. Go, you can hold on to it if you like.
Hi, Council. How you doing? Good evening. Wrote something together, kind of snowball who I am for the community, and what I plan to do and be a part of if I am successful. My name is Jeremy Louder. I'm here tonight to show interest in representing District 2, our City Council. I'm not here for politics, personal fulfillment, resume building. For me, Coalinga is my home. I've been a resident for over 40 years. I've been raised here, and I have the opportunity watching this community grow, change, persevere through the years. I'm proud to say that I'm raising my 3 daughters alongside my wife, who will be the 5th generation to be brought up in the same home my great-grandfather built during the foundation of Coalinga. This community and its future are deeply personal to me, which is my driving force for being here today. Over the years, I've joined local community clubs, supported youth groups and programs, set up my neighborhood watch, assisted for the Chamber of Commerce, organizing some of the events that Scott's put together. I believe in neighbors helping neighbors, and that's kind of some of the leadership that I'd like to bring to District 2 if I'm successful. I have a career as a local utility first responder in Coalinga and our neighboring cities and rural communities. It's a role that's given me a unique perspective and challenges with individuals that they face day to day for different financial statuses, cultural differences, and community beliefs. As a natural gas service representative, I work directly with customers for safety hazards, new business, troubleshooting, service planning, and billing and account issues. Either storm support or working alongside law enforcement, fire department for emergencies, along with my fellow utility personnel, like the city here. I value community safety, proper infrastructure, and delivering those services correctly. A top priority as city council representative will be community safety. I believe every family deserves to feel secure in their home while feeling confident that their family is safe in the community. I would like to work with our local law enforcement and fire department and city employees to ensure they have the tools, the training that some of the city's employees brought up to protect themselves and the community. I feel safety isn't just about police and fire services. It's also about financial security. Families are feeling the squeeze of rising costs, taxes, and I would like to pursue any avenue to relieve those hardships, or at least give the community members top value for their dollar. Another key issue for me would be revitalization, while bringing new energy and opportunities to our airport, West Hills College, local businesses, and housing. I believe these are some of the pillars of our local economy. Our airport has the opportunity to provide growth, attract new business, creating jobs, make it a point of pride through our community events, like the air show, shift sector. Our college is an educational cornerstone in our community. I'd like to see housing development for our students, stadium for our sports teams, and department growth to provide more career opportunities for our locals. Thirdly, attracting business to Coalinga. It's something we've really struggled with. Something our city is missing. We can attract big box stores to support our community needs, food options to give us healthy variety, provide red tape free pathways for our small businesses, for our residents so they can open, operate, and pursue their dreams of being local small business owners in our community. These opportunities then attract housing developers who build residents and houses for our community. Those people then feel comfortable to settle in our community, contribute new ideas, and continue the growth. Thank the city members for your time and consideration. Looking forward to working together, learning a lot. It's definitely a new thing for me. Listening to the community and their needs, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lauder. Mayor, council questions?
So is this the time for questions then?
For council questions.
For council questions? Okay, council?
Okay, with some of the issues that we've had in the past, are you going to be able to separate your job with city?
So my job is not part of the city. I'm a gas service rep, so I don't serve city proper. I'm outside of the city, here on Avenel, Kettleman City, and others surrounding. Because the city controls its own gas, I have nothing to do with city infrastructure.
Any other questions from council?
Yeah. So I'm about social media and responsible use, and I'm just curious if you're involved in that and how you are and how do you utilize it?
It's something I already take in consideration. Again, I'm a representative for my company. It's very serious. I do outages, emergency response for, I was down in LA recently. We go to Utah, Idaho, and separating social media as far as your family. I'm very family oriented. I'm an outdoorsman, pretty much stops there. Participating in our local Facebook group isn't something I care for, so I have that blocked. But yeah, I do distinguish the difference in separating yourself.
Thank you.
First, thank you for applying. Thank you. I'm very, very excited when people come and apply that the community wants to still keep on going. My question was, with a lot of things going on right now in our nation, I see that one of your pinpoint was to bring infrastructure and retail. Are you able to, when you talk to a retail representative, are you able to, whatever your beliefs are, and act in a professional or in for the city? I know a lot of times I've seen other cities put their political views on there and it affects them. Are you able to manage that?
It's something I've already managed now. Again, with my company, I go work one-on-one with customers. I'm a representative of my company, of myself. I'm there to help everyone with their needs. Separate my political views. Even though I might have conservative values, it's something that I want to bring to help our community. As far as businesses and stuff like that, I mean, I share the same passions of everybody else in Coalinga. We need them. We need to open ourselves and everyone else with open arms and see what we can attract to the community.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I don't have any questions, but I learned a lot listening to your speech about your history in town. And I like that you're involved like you are and your reasonings for wanting to become part of this if it works out.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Pippin's Auto was my great-grandfather's store here in town, which turned into Price's Auto. Very passionate about Coalinga and continuing to be a part of the community.
Excellent. Any other questions? Okay, so I just have a few. What relationships do you have with our current community stakeholders, or which stakeholders would you like to reach out to?
Elaborate, please.
Community stakeholders like West Hills College, the school district, could be businesses like the Chamber of Commerce, and since you did mention some of these, which others would you like to reach out to if we appointed you?
That's part of my learning process here. Getting in touch with different people, different stakeholders, like you're saying, Chamber of Commerce. I enjoy the activities and the consistent involvement in the community. I'd love to be a part of that more. Joining our clubs, being a part of putting things together and promoting.
Excellent. And then follow up on your social media responsible use. So, you know, social media is a dual-edged sword, as we've learned, a lot of us have. What would you say to those that use social media in order to contact their representatives and use social media in order to, as a platform, in order to discuss important city issues?
As far as I'm aware, that's pretty much off limits. I'm not aware with the extensiveness of the Brown Act or conversating with locals. I would probably key the term to question if the community, if they've downloaded the city app and are using it properly, and question sending off their concerns.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions from council? Seeing none?
Okay. Time for audience questions, up to 10 minutes. One question per speaker, and the time is 7:16.
Any members of the audience have questions for our speaker? Could we, maybe we'll have you use the mobile mic?
Use the mobile mic right there.
Just a quick question that, would you, see if I could word this right, would you let your personal beliefs interfere with what might be greater, better for the greater of Coalinga? So if you think that I like this, but for the greater good of Coalinga, it might be that, would you let that interfere with your thoughts?
I think the importance of taking on the seat of the city council is to separate your beliefs, at least minimize them. The better of Coalinga and what's going to help the concerns of our city employees, what's going to help our clubs, such as the Elks. I might have input of my opinions and my ideas as an individual, but I feel in a whole, the whole point of taking a seat on the council is to listen to the community and promote.
Anybody else in the audience? Seeing none?
At this time, Mr. Louder, if you have a closing statement, you're free to make it. You have 3 minutes.
I just shared my vision for the city that works for all of us. A city where our neighborhoods are safe, our local businesses thrive, community is heard. I'm running for a council seat because I believe in what the community can achieve when different branches of the city work together to promote transparency, compassion, and accountability. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Lander?
Good evening. Ron Lander, former mayor of Coalinga, served 27 years, approximately 27 years on the city council. Been involved in almost every service organization in the city of Coalinga. Was going to run for re-election the last time I could have run one more term. Decided I needed to take a break. I'm a very, very strong believer in city government. I have loved serving the city of Coalinga all these years. And I think one of the things that I'd like to emphasize is that this council gives direction. It's the employees that make it happen. And a lot of times the employees are not given the credit they should be given. And I'm a strong, strong believer in that because they are the ones who are the nuts and bolts of this community. What I foresee in the future of Coalinga is a lot of great things. One of the things that I have noticed for many years, and I'm sure this council is very aware of it, we do not have a diversified job market. And what we need to do is to start marketing our community to business. The biggest thing that hurts this community is our neighboring community, Hanford. We lose a lot of business to them because we don't have retail, but we don't get the retail because we don't have the jobs. Your largest employer in the city of Coalinga, in the city itself, is the schools. And unfortunately, when school lets out, the majority of the educators leave, they go elsewhere, just like the prison and the state hospital. And somehow, it needs to be addressed. That's a very, very difficult situation. My family came here in the 1800s. My brother and I are the last two Lander family members in Coalinga. I love Coalinga. I have served the city, like I said, for many, many years, and I would like to fulfill that obligation to help fill Mr. Horn's remaining term.
Thank you, Mr. Lander. Council questions, Mayor?
Questions from council?
First of all, thank you again for applying. Thank you for your service, all 27 years. My question is, what different atmosphere do you see when you were in council as as now the atmosphere there it is in this council? What difference or how would you be able to get retail now, and why wasn't there retail before?
Well, I'll tell you exactly why. It's because the local community does not support local business. That is the big downfall, and the Chamber of Commerce can tell you that. That has been an ongoing issue. They do not support local business. Years ago, they cried for a shoe store. We had a shoe store. When they put it in the Kmart building, they put a shoe store, Payless Shoe Store. Payless Shoe Store went out of business. Somebody called me and said, Payless is going out. So I went down and I talked to the manager. I said, can I ask why you guys are going to close? I heard you're doing that. We don't have community support. And yet people were going to Fresno or Hanford to Payless Shoe Store. So it's easy to go to the city where you have all of these retail businesses. And it's difficult for small business to compete with big business. It's very, very difficult. So that's one of the downfalls.
Thank you.
Any other questions from council?
Yeah, same thing for me. Responsible use of social media, kind of how you use it, where you think it should be used.
I don't use social media. I do not do it. I do not like it. I hear stuff at work all day long. As you guys know, I'm a barber, so I hear a ton of stuff. Guess what I heard? Guess what I heard? I said, where did you hear that? On social media. I said, well, then it's got to be true. No, I have no use for it. I really don't.
Any other questions from council? Okay, so I have a few. I'll ask you the same question.
You got shot down.
Not about social media. What relationship, because I know you don't have it, what relationships do you have with the community stakeholders, or which community stakeholders would you like to reach out to and improve?
One of the things that I would like to see, and I've thought about this here just recently, I remember back, and I can't tell you exactly how far back it was, but all of the stakeholders would meet monthly, Parks and Rec, City Hall, College, Unified. They would have a lunch and discuss what's going on. So every one of all these entities knew what was going on and were all on the same page. It was very, very successful. Very, very good program. I'd like to see that happen again.
Okay. And then my final one would be, what are your thoughts on continuity of government? As in having people on the city council that have been on the city council or are closely informed with city government and the importance of that.
I think it's very, very important that everybody work together, because when I was there, and just like this group here, we work for the people. That's what we're there for. It's not for, look at me, I'm a council member, look at me, I'm this. You're working for the community. And whether it be local government, county government, state government, you should be working for the people. That's what you were elected for. That's what the council was elected for, to work for the people. Not your own personal self-interest, but for the benefit of the community. I'm a strong, strong believer in that.
And I guess I'll just follow up on that then. Since you don't use social media, how do you get your outreach of the public when you're listening, when there's complaints from the public, how do the people reach you?
Telephone, come to the barber shop. I get it all day long, all week. And then what do? I obviously haven't been here for some time. The city hall's right down the street, and I tell them who to go talk to. Sean can attest to that. I've sent several people to him here not too long ago.
Excellent. Any other questions from council? All right, seeing none?
Double check. No. Now's the time. Excuse me. Now's the time for audience questions. 10 minutes total. One question per individual. It is 7:26. Are there any questions from the audience?
Ron, I got a question for you. Relying on your expertise from all your years of service, a big issue we have in this town is affordable retail space. There's none. what can you bring to the council as possible solutions to help?
Well, I
that
manage
situation?
I manage the complex where I work, okay? The rents there have increased. The owner lives on the coast. He has expenses, all expenses have increased substantially. We have one rental now, that's a vacancy. On the block where I work, there's one there, there's 4 where the new buildings were built on Fifth Street, and then there's another 3 there. So you have what, 4, 7, you got 7, almost 8 vacancies right there. And then you have them right here on the plaza. And the whole sad part about it is that the cost factor is pretty high. And I'll just tell you this, is that the owner of the property that I manage, his water bill is sky high. And so he's talked to me about that. And so we have had to talk to all the tenants to tell them to cut back on the water. The costs have increased substantially, and to no fault of anybody specifically. But it's not affordable for a small business. And all these people are in the same boat. So I agree with you, it's difficult. You as a chamber member, I'm sure you hear it all the time. Very, very difficult. And I've talked to the owner, I says, you know what, I'm afraid you're gonna price yourself out of the market. I really am concerned with that. So I said, let's try to hold it where it is. So he's starting to do that, so it's working there. But that goes on all over in all the retail in town.
Anyone else in the public? Yes, sir?
Good evening, Ron. What, in your opinion, can you do to be able to get more information to the citizens of Coalinga that's not social media based, of events coming up and things going on and stuff like that?
You know, it's so funny you said, because I just wrote a note, because it said, well, we need to get this out to the public. Well, not everyone uses Facebook. Not everybody has Coalinga Citizens. And a lot of people don't read the newspaper, what little newspaper we have. So it's very, very difficult. It's just like the turkey trot that you're talking about. You know, you put out flyers. Maybe people should start doing a little bit more of that. When we used to have the Coalinga Record, it was very, very successful because not only, well, you didn't have that big of a deal with social media at that time, but a lot of people do not have social media. A lot of people, as an example, did not know about the wine thing. They did not know about these other things that the Chamber of Commerce had. And I said, well, it was on social media, I'm told. And of course, I saw it in the newspaper. And they said, well, we didn't know that, so they didn't participate because there's the lack of communication. And that's a very, very difficult thing right now, with this, especially a small community like this.
Any other questions from the public? Seeing none?
Okay. Mr. Leonard, if you have a closing statement, you can give it now.
I wanted to say I thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration. And if you choose me, I'd be very, very happy to serve this community as I had in the past. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. Thank you.
Mr. Horn? Mr. Horn, you can come on up. Good evening. You can give your opening remarks. You have 5 minutes.
Hello, my name is James Horn. I lived in the city of Coalinga all my life. I have a wife and a beautiful daughter, and we were homeowners here in Coalinga. I currently work as a fleet manager for H.M. Holloway out there in Lost Hills. I have management experience through American Management Association. I have certification, and I've been doing it for quite a few years. Some of the things we work on is setting up budgets for repair costs and different expenses that we have, and I've had good success with getting those done. I mean, I have a lot more extra time on my hands, so I figured I would get out here and possibly serve the community, serve District 2 and the people of Coalinga. That's all I have for my comment. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Council questions, Mayor?
Questions from council?
What made you decide to apply?
I saw there wasn't very many candidates, so I wanted to throw my hat in since I have the extra time and maybe a younger generation of standpoint for different issues that we have here in town. So somebody a lot younger.
Any other questions?
First of all, thank you. You know, it's very exciting when, as you were saying, that you're a young man, that you approach a statue like this, and it's, very, very encouraging. My question is, everybody, all the candidates have expressed about retail and making our community thrive forward to the future. We had in the past retail that was sure that was coming. How would you approach when something like that, what your mechanics would be when there's a plan already in set and it falls through because of another agency?
If it falls through because you said of another agency?
Yes.
I mean, I've set up meetings in the past with vendors that we've had issues with, and setting up new relationships. I guess it'd be finding out who's interested in coming to the city of Coalinga and how we can do best to get them here and keep them here and maintain them and get the community involved. I do notice that when restaurants and other places do open up here, a lot of the community doesn't get out and actually participate, and it puts a lot of hurt on the city and the businesses trying to thrive here.
My other question, I think I said it to, I spoke to one of the candidates. As you know, we go to retail, we go to these retail conventions. We go in there blind sometimes, and my question is, again, your beliefs, your political views, how do they stand when you approach a person that you don't know their political beliefs, and you're searching for that retail or housing to come to our community?
So I have conservative beliefs, but I do understand that not everybody has the same beliefs as me, and I do understand that clashes a lot. It's unprofessional to bring, my beliefs into a situation where it's business. I can conduct myself in a fairly decent matter, especially dealing with, I try to stay away from that stuff. It usually hurts conversations more than helping, especially when you're discussing business, growth, potential. Politics shouldn't come into play for that.
Thank you.
Any other questions from council?
Yeah, same thing from me. Social media, do you use it? How do you use it? How do you think it should be used?
I use it on a daily basis. I usually use it to keep up with people I haven't seen in a while. Day-to-day news. I see a lot of politics on there on a daily basis. Of course, the media can stretch that either which way. I use it to check and see what's going on in the city, events, any, emergencies going on, or maybe new things coming into the community, like new businesses, see who's promoting, who's actually getting out there and trying to get business. I have used social media in the past to get in arguments and stuff. Obviously, I've grown up past that. A lot of younger generation have. I think social media can be, like you guys said, a double-edged sword. Anything I say or, post on Facebook or Instagram could be used, against the city in any matter. So, and against me.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I just got a comment. I think it's awesome that you came out and are interested in doing this as a young man, and I appreciate that. That's awesome.
Okay, so I just have a couple questions. What relationships do you currently have with community stakeholders, or which stakeholders would you like to reach out to on behalf of the city?
I do not have any community stakeholders that I deal with as of now, but I would like to learn and grow with the city and learn the stakeholders and grow relationships with them.
All right, and let's see. Are you willing to work with our electeds at the state and federal levels?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I just have a comment as well. I really appreciate you signing up and coming, and I'm actually pretty impressed with your demeanor and what the things you're looking for. I like the fact of the younger folk moving up. I appreciate your honesty with social media and how you've used it in the past and what you would think of in the future. I've seen a change in a lot of people's social media habits, and I do think it's somewhat important, but I also think it's a double-edged sword, and I myself have drawn myself way back in the last few years because it can have those negative, unwanted effects. But I just wanted to really thank you for coming up and throwing your name in the ring, and I think it's amazing. I have a son that's similar. And he also has political aspects to get and to do public service, and so this kind of hits home with me, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Any other questions from council?
No, I'd like to comment on this. Just so everybody knows, I did not put him up to this. I got a text at 4 a.m. a couple of weeks ago asking me if I thought it would be a good idea. And the way he was raised and the things that he's done over the last few years with his jobs, I think he would be a good fit here. He's been raised to see both sides and move forward. So that way it benefits everybody. So I was kind of shocked when he asked me, especially at 4 a.m. I'm still trying to wake up, and he's already at work. So I know he's willing to put in the hours. Other than that, I do have one more question for you. If the social media, when you do get on there and there's some derogatory comments that have been made, which it's normal for everybody,
Right.
do you think you're going to be willing to be able to bite your tongue and let it go
Yes.
without holding a grudge against that citizen?
I do not feed into that, what people think about me or say about me. If they want to address it, they can come here publicly during the city meeting and address it here in public comments, and I will answer them. And I just see no need to engage them online. It just opens up more doors for more trouble, especially for the city and for myself.
And one last thing, I am extremely proud of you and how far you've gone so far and what you're planning on doing with this city when I'm gone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from council? Seeing none?
Time for audience questions. 10 minutes total, one question per individual, 7 points.
All right, hates this microphone. This isn't as much a question, Jimmy, as it is, I just want to echo what you guys said. The fact that we have such a diverse group, 27 years experience, no experience stepping up, no experience but willing to step up. To me, I mean, between the three of you, your families have probably 400 years in this town combined. That says a lot about what they want for this city moving forward. The one thing I would ask is having this, not that we want Mayor Pro Tem Horn to leave, obviously, but having this one-year opportunity is a great chance for Jimmy or Jeremy to step up and fill that position and see, hey, is this something I even want to pursue? You know, in a year.
You have a question? There's a public comment time later.
Oh, there is? Okay, my bad.
You gotta ask a question.
Jamie, you would do great. I'm impressed with where you're headed. Sorry.
Thank you.
I didn't know there'd be a public.
Anyone else from the audience? Okay, seeing none?
Mr. Horn, if you have any closing remarks, you can make them right now. You have 3 minutes.
I would just be excited to serve my community and the people of District 2. Like I said, obviously my beliefs would clash with a lot of people, but I will take the people's word into consideration and do the best to my ability to represent them for what they want, what they need. I thank you for your guys' time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, now is the time for public comments, so 2 minutes per speaker.
So is this like the influencing time where they influence us on who they, I'm just asking, is that what this is? Can they express
say
their
whatever they
concerns
like.
and opinions?
So Scott has 30 seconds.
There you go. Okay, so this is that time. So if anyone wants to make a public comment, on what you think that we should do, please come forward to the mobile mic and, or your personal concerns or comments.
I was just kidding about the 30 seconds. You guys-
Wow, yeah, I won't take 2 minutes. I just want to stress, I think this would be a great opportunity for the next generation to get in there for a year, get their feet wet, see how they do, let the community see how they do, see if this is something they even want to do for another 4 years. No offense at all to former Mayor Lander. He's put in his time. I think next year, if he runs and wins, he'd be great sitting up there. But I just think it would be a great opportunity to give some, the fact that they're willing to come out here. Jimmy, what are you, 28 years old? Jeremy's a 2-time World Series of Poker placer. I mean, you got a lot of experience going on here, and he's a qualifier too over here, by the way. So when you're talking about community, clubs and stuff, Coalinga Poker League. Thank you.
Anybody else for public comment?
Just a few seconds. I think any of the three would be a great fit for our city council. I think any of the three would do a great job. Whoever is making this decision is going to be a tough decision to make, and I'm glad I'm not part of that equation.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, amazingly. Anybody else? Okay, seeing none, going to close the public comment.
Okay, Mayor, so now is the time for council deliberation and voting. I'm going to go over the nomination process and the voting process. So the mayor's going to go down the line and ask if any of the council wants to nominate one of the three. Okay, feel free to nominate. It does not require a second nomination. You can feel free to nominate somebody who's already been nominated, but you don't have to. Everybody who gets a nomination will then go to a vote. How the vote will occur is we'll just go down the line and you'll vote for the person. So it won't be a candidate and then everybody votes. You're just going to come down the line. You will vote for whatever candidate has been nominated that you feel deserves your vote. If somebody has 3 votes at that time, the nomination will end. If somebody doesn't have 3 votes at that time, the candidate with the lowest vote will be removed and you'll vote again. At that time, you can change your mind. You can stay the same, but we'll keep proceeding like that until there's a majority that a candidate has a majority of votes for. Is everybody clear on the process?
All right, I'm going to have the city clerk lead the show from left to right, starting with Councilman Hitchcock.
Ask if you want to nominate anybody.
So we're going to start with Councilman.
Councilman Hedgecock, do you have any nominations?
Yeah, just like Chuck said, it's good to have people interested in coming out and wanting to participate. That's what keeps our city operating well, is people wanting to participate. But with all that being said, I'd like to nominate Jeremy Louder.
Councilman Schindler?
Yeah, like you said, I'm really honored that this many people came out. Actually, it was 4, for a short position like this. I think that's awesome. It gives me a little bit of encouragement that maybe America's going in the right direction again. People are taking part. So thank you guys all for coming out, and I'd like to also nominate Jeremy Louder.
Councilman Ramirez?
Same thing with me. I'm just excited that Mr. Horn, being as young as he is, that he's interested in putting a good future platform. I mean, any of the 3, I'm very glad that you guys came out and are passionate, for this community. My vote is for Mr. Louder.
Mayor Pro Tem Horn?
Do we need to go any further?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's just nominations.
I'm kind of in agreement with all of them, but they're a little bit not wanting to say it. I think we need to get past the old dogs and get the new crowd in here. Just with the group that we've gotten in here, we've been able to make a change. One of the things that I pushed when I first got on here was to keep the council, get them back together, and actually have the city staff and the council actually work together so there's no more problems. Well, that's happened. So with that being said, to keep the younger in here, and I know it's going to sound a little cheesy because it's my son, but I nominate James Horn.
Mayor Vosberg?
All right, we're gonna have a race here, because I'm gonna nominate Ron Lander. Yes, sir. Because, and I'm gonna let you guys know why. Because I believe in continuity of government, and I believe that, that we should have, folks in here that do have served in the past. And also just because I wanna see how this plays out.
Okay. Yeah. So we do have 3 nominations. We have 1 nomination each for Mr. Louder, Mr. Lander, and Mr. Horn. So then at this time, we're going to proceed with the vote. And we'll start, the mayor will start down at the end, and please just, you can vote for any one of those 3.
Can I have the city clerk lead the vote?
Councilman Hedgecock?
Mr. Louder.
Councilman Schindler?
Mr. Louder.
Councilman Ramirez?
Mr. Louder.
Mayor Pro Tem Horn?
Mr. Louder.
And Mayor Vosberg?
And we're going to have a, we are going to have a 5-0 vote for Mr. Louder because we already have the majority consensus. So.
Congratulations, Mr. Louder.
Do we need a motion to make it go?
Let's see, we have. No, we don't have a resolution, so that effectively is the vote. The minutes will reflect the vote and the appointment by Mr. Louder. And then he'll be sworn in either at the next meeting or the clerk will arrange the swearing in.
So I'm also going to add another little section here for the council just to express their gratitudes for the people that did come up. I very much appreciate Ron throwing his hat back into the ring for all the experience that he has had with this community. And I know you listen to it every day at the barber shop. And that was one of the reasons that I was like, hey, let's, we're looking for that type of leadership. Mr. Louder, I had a meeting with Mr. Louder, and all I can say is that I was very, very impressed on his motives for public to serve the public, and that I personally do believe that his ideals to serve the public are not entrenched in himself. And to me, that's the best part of public service, when you are wanting to serve the public. And then Mr. Horn, I'm just amazed. I really am. I was amazed at the information that you gave. I was amazed at your honesty in things that some people, like myself, might have thought have went against you. But to me, I really am impressed by people that are honest. And I really do hope that in the future that you run again, because I think that that your head is in the right place, and I'm just ecstatic that we have people in the younger age and those that are well-seasoned that are running. So I appreciate that. And then if anyone, seasoned is a good way to put it. Okay, vintage. And I was just going to say, Don, if you did want to find out those vote results, I am pretty sure Ron has them at his barbershop in his... I'm sure he does. So then I'm going to open up to the rest of the council because I know that this has been a tough one for all of us. So if there's anything anybody else would like to say.
No, I'm disappointed as a father that my son didn't get it, but I'm okay with that, and I know he is too. Me and him have talked after he applied. We had kind of talked about what to expect. Mr. Louder, now I think I've known him about 10 years now, and I think he would be a good fit. He's got the same mindset as me, which is to see both sides and move forward for everyone. So that way it's fair. Never be one-sided, and of course stay off social media with all the, excuse my language, bullshit that's going on. And just deal with what the citizens, and don't forget, you're not just a council member, you're a citizen too. So you're actually making a decision that's going to benefit yourself and your family, along with everybody in town.
Anyone else?
I'm not done yet. Hold on. And Mr. Landers, please reach out to him and have him reach out to you so that way he can get some ideas and just like I did, just to get some ideas on how to approach certain things a little differently than the way we're actually taught, because it's not always the right way. Thank you.
Yeah, same here with Mr. Lander. When I first got in, I didn't know nothing about what to expect. I didn't see myself when I was Mr. Horn's age to be here, but I grew up in this town, and that's one thing that I see in Mr. Horn and the experience on you that got me going, and that I could see in Mr. Louder now. When I first met him, he was just always interested in what's going on with the city and all this and that, and it's like no negativity, it's just positivity, and all three of you guys. But I'm glad we're gonna have another structure, table, and I think it's a good future. It's looking good future with any of you guys. And then thank you.
Yeah, like I said before, I'm happy to see that you guys came out, and I'm hoping that this new addition will change things up a little bit. Maybe we'll see things from a different view and fix some of the problems that we're working on. So thank you all again.
You got to merit. Jimmy, I appreciate you coming out. It's awesome, somebody your age, not Ron's age, coming out.
Season.
I'm sorry, season. Vintage, sorry, vintage. Coming out, to want to serve your community. That's great. It's a great thing, and hopefully you continue down that path in the future and find somewhere where you can serve. I mean, I know we're elected, but I still call us all community servants because we're here because we're needed. But we're also here to be servants of the community. We shouldn't be employees of the city or feel like that we're doing anything other than oversight and trying to do the best that we can for our community. So I appreciate that you came out and did it. And Ron, same thing. I appreciate your input. I've heard a lot of it down at the coffee club at Chevron. I know. Well, when Pat left, it kind of broke up. But I appreciate you, Jeremy, coming out and doing this. And I think we're moving towards a better future, make Kalinga great again. That's what we got to do.
I got one more question though, or thing. So, Mr. Louder, one of the things I'd like to give you advice on is ask as many questions as you can, no matter how stupid they sound, because you will. Sometimes you will learn more than what you actually thought. So be sure to ask those questions, no matter how dumb or goofy it sounds. They'll understand.
And then I did just want to give just a minute for the candidates to give just one, comment to the council and to the community. Yes, sir.
I'd like to, again, thank you guys for your consideration, but I'd also like to let you know that's a big weight off of my shoulders. Now I can get back to just being a barber again. And as far as Mr. Louder, I liked your presentation. You thought that out very clearly. And you know what? If you have anything you would like to know or questions, you know where I'm at. Feel free to get a hold of me. If I can help you, I will, any way I can.
Would any other of the candidates like to speak with the mobile mic?
I just want to say thank you for the time. I'll be the first one to say I don't have any idea what I'm doing. So
Now you say that.
I'll definitely will lean on everybody up there. Nate, he's been involved a long time. I think I'll line him with a lot of his views. Jim, I'll give you a call. And Roger, Mike, I think got a lot of learning to do, and I'm willing to grow. And I'd see how this goes.
Just so you know, it does take about 6 months for you to finally start figuring out what's what and how to do it. But once you get that, you're going to be flying.
Mr. Horn, would you like to say anything?
Yes, I'd just like to say that you guys made a good decision, that Jeremy's in well in this seat, and that the community will overall benefit from having him in that seat. So thank you guys for taking careful consideration. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we get a round of applause for the candidates and then also a round of applause for our new council person who will be sworn in at the next meeting. And with that said, we are going to move on to the next item. Which will be approval of annual stipend to the Kalinga Area Chamber of Commerce to support economic development and business support services, and direction to staff to bring back a budget adjustment on December 4th, 2025.
Thank you. Mayor, Council, this was an item that was discussed as part of the fiscal year 26 budget preparation. However, at the time, the city had yet to determine what amount would be reasonable, and kind of looking at the scope of what the contribution to the Chamber of Commerce as a stipend would be in terms of them supporting economic development and business support efforts through the Chamber itself. The city collaborates with the Chamber to support local businesses, promote events, and strengthen community and visitor serving activities. Formalizing this partnership via stipend will advance the City Council's economic development priorities. Staff researched several different cities, large and small, to see what types of partnerships, services, support, and financial contributions chambers were provided by their cities, and staff found a reasonable scope and stipend amount that the city could sustain and monitor throughout the fiscal year. The stipend would support chamber-led activities that advance local economic development across broad, non-prescriptive categories, which may include business outreach and retention, business education and networking, marketing information and visibility, community and business activation, communications and engagement, resource and asset coordination, and providing data and insights. Examples within these categories are illustrative only and do not really mandate specific methods or particular expenditures with the stipend. The city would like for the chamber to provide monthly updates at council meetings and an annual report. I can't talk either. each June outlining activities, completed, notable outcomes from that previous year. Any metrics reported, such as counts, reach, and highlights, are not strict production quotas, but good information for the city to receive if it's available. The proposed annual stipend would be $30,000 for fiscal year 26, and it would come from the City of Coalinga's general fund balance. The council will have to decide to include, obviously, in future years, so fiscal year 27, within the operational budget when the fiscal year 27 budget is prepared. So with that, Mayor, Council, that's staff's recommendation for the remainder of this year. We are at the middle of the year, so I don't know if the council wants to consider a different amount for the remaining part of this fiscal year. But basically, at least an annual amount of $30,000 is what staff's recommending. So staff doesn't have a particular preference on what the council decides on or what our recommendation is for the remainder of this fiscal year.
Okay, so before we open this up for discussion, I have been asked by someone in the community if a member at large for the chamber that sits on council is allowed to vote. And so I wanted to get clarification from the city attorney on this.
Yeah, so a non-voting position with no financial interest is perfectly fine to vote.
Okay, so non-voting position, and so I believe it as members at large, we're non-voters.
I'm going to abstain anyways, just in case.
So since we do have the executive of the Chamber of Commerce here, I would like to ask what our position is at member at large and what the extent of that is, so that we make sure that we do not cross any lines. If you feel comfortable answering that.
So our members at large do not have any voting rights within the board. They are there, they give input, they are our support system, they give ideas, recommendations, but in no way, when it comes down to deciding items as far as, financially or any procedural stuff, they don't have a vote in that type of process. They're more of the support background services and give ideas. There are worker bees. They give us experience on other aspects that the community may have that we may not individually know. So it's important to have. When I came on board, our board was very small, and one of my first jobs was to go out and try and build one. And I wanted somebody, from college, from the school, from, all areas, just so that we had the input from them, so we had ideas of what the community wanted from the chamber and where the direction they wanted us to go. Because again, when I came on, I didn't know. I was a local business owner, and I just wanted to see it continue and support the community and the businesses here. So, but none of the council members have ever been voting members once they became on the board. They were at one time, and when they became city council members, they had to step down and recuse themselves. So they don't have any portion of that, if that answers your question.
Yeah, I just wanted to get clarification for the public and then for us as well.
So can I ask real quick? It's a volunteer, strictly volunteer, no compensation kind of position, correct? Yeah.
Gets a financial compensation at all, from the board president all the way down.
And then hearing that, city attorney in response.
Yes, same. Not seeing a legal issue, but if you feel like, it's too hard for you to, remain neutral, or you just don't feel comfortable, you can abstain. It's completely up to you.
So I'd like to ask at this time that anyone that wants to abstain, unfortunately, you have to leave the room and can't be a part of the discussion. So for those that, and I hate to do that but I want to keep people safe as well. All right, so we got the information from Sean. Now maybe we could open that discussion up with the chamber. Maybe the chamber would like to come up and explain to us what the stipend means to you, and your thoughts on the stipend, and then we'll open it up to council.
There are a lot of things that we can use this for. One of the big things that we want to start bringing back more of are our mixers, where we bring together the business community. We bring outside resources, whether it's from Fresno County Health Department, the tax assessors, whatever it is, any questions they may have, economic development. We want to get back to having those at least quarterly meetings, and those cost, funds, whether it's through, feeding, we usually do them at lunchtime so the business partners can come and join us. That's definitely something we want to do. We want to work on building a new directory for the community with a map and for people coming in and being able to resource out. I do get a lot of foot traffic, people stopping by as they're going through town, wanting information about local businesses, and so that's a lot of what it will go to. It'll also, we've been real involved with, like the Wings Over the West Side event, helping Sean and the city, which, by the way, they did phenomenal this year. I mean, it was exciting to be a part of that, and I look forward to where it's headed. But that does take time away from that we would normally be doing with other chamber events. So having this stipend helps, I guess, explain to my board why we're putting so much effort into these things, rather than on, just chamber issues, because again, that airport's going to be an important part of our future. So the stipend will definitely give us security moving forward a little bit. If it's something that the council decides to continue year after year, it is, Derby's great, other events are great, but we do understand economically it's difficult in Coalinga right now. So, this would definitely, be a good thing to help us, provide more services and more activities for the community and our business partners. Okay.
Thank you very much. Discussion from council? Yes, I'd like to see for the remaining of the year, that stipend, but so do you have an idea on, do you want to give them the full stipend this year? Or do you want to give them the second half of the stipend this year? Which one, what is your, I just want to understand what your.
I would like to, for the remaining of the year, give the what's on there.
So you want to give them the whole thing, or you just want to give them half of it?
If we could, like half, or because right now we're doing 30, right? For the remaining?
No, 30,000 is what's recommended for an
For the
annual stipend.
Annual stipend,
Yeah.
okay, so, yeah, we could do,
You want to do the whole thing, or do you want to do just half?
I'd like to do the whole thing.
Okay.
I agree. They do a lot for the city. They're crucial to how things go in Coalinga, and I think that we haven't paid them anything this year, right? I mean, they haven't gotten anything, so I say the full 30 this year, and then maybe revisit this next year.
And when you're saying next year, are you meaning next budget cycle?
Next budget.
Okay. Councilman Headshot?
I agree with that. Sounds like a good idea. They do a lot. Sean did a lot of work, and most cities have the Chamber of Commerce as a community partner, so we should be helping. Hopefully we get good. I mean, Scott does a good job of coming back and letting us know what's going on and with the chamber, and I'm sure he'll keep us apprised of the bang for our buck, and that's important to me because Scott's not always going to be there. So, moving into the future, if this becomes a normal thing, we just got to make sure that the funds are being utilized the way that the council and the community feel they should be. We're not telling you how to do it, but just, we need to keep an eye on it.
All right. I think we have a consensus of the council. Do you need a vote?
Yeah, because it's approval of the stipend, yes.
Okay.
Motion second.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Can I entertain a motion?
I motion that we approve the annual stipend for the Kalinga Area Chamber of Commerce in the amount of 30,000.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Do we need a roll call, or we just good?
You can do what's what as long as she knows.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. Chamber will receive the 30,000 for this year, correct? And then we will bring it, it was also the motion to bring it back? Because I think that's what the consensus was? Okay.
So just so you guys know, next meeting, it'll be on consent calendar with the budget adjustment, so we can adjust the budget for the 30,000, and then we can issue the check after that. Yeah.
So hold on here. We're gonna let you do the last item.
This one?
I hate that that's one you have, but yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to item 6, proposed mayor-hosted community dialogues with rotating council members in council chambers, future agenda item. Mayor Vosberg, City Manager Sean.
Did you want me to summarize real quick? Okay. So staff has no recommendation. This is a future agenda item by Mayor Vosberg. Mayor Vosberg is proposing informal in-person conversations in council chambers to enhance transparency and two-way communication with residents. Each session would be hosted by the mayor with rotating council members and focus on general city updates, listening to the community concerns, and highlighting the city's strategic priorities. So Mayor, I'll kind of leave it up to you on kind of summarizing it and give staff some direction on terms of how you guys like to proceed.
So I think that this can benefit for the community in some kind of face-to-face contact without being on social media, and that this council has expressed a need and a want for us to go more in that direction. And so this wasn't specific, meant to be specific to, it would have to be just the mayor and then one rotating council member. That could be a structure, but then I don't have a problem either if it was, two rotating council members as well. It doesn't have to be like that. It was just that it was kind of something that I seen the city of Lemoore do, and I thought that it was a good idea. And then it also kind of fits with the council's ideals and making face-to-face contact that we can relate more to the public and in a more personal way rather than having to go to social media. Yeah, this is a discussion. Open up for the.
Yeah, I agree. I think something like that could be really good for the community and to leave it open and flexible. So you're not locked into a mayor and one council member or another council member or a calendar, just. Yeah.
Any other questions or comments?
Good idea, Nathan.
So we can actually, we can vote on this, right?
So I guess
If we're all in
my
consensus.
question would be, I see the consensus. I think it's just a question of, from a logistical standpoint, frequency. Is there a particular schedule that the council wants to kind of do? I know it's going to be 2 council members per kind of event. Is it something that wants to be triggered by a council member to say, hey, we want to do that this month? Or do you guys want to set it on a quarterly basis? Just kind of want to get some direction so we can make sure we have facilities available. Like, what time are you guys looking at? Or is this something that 2 council members want to talk and say, hey, let's plan something, and then come to me and say, hey, next month, give me a couple weeks or a few weeks so we can push the information out. But hey, we would like to do this in next month. I mean, 'cause I can leave it up to you guys.
I like what you just said. Just wing it. Make it work.
Well, at first, keep it flexible, see how it works out, then maybe quarter.
Yeah, I'd like to include also on certain months or dates to do a after hours, since we have access to come into here, if that would be an option as well. If people are having to work late, they would be able to come in after hours.
Yeah, totally up
Within
to
a
you
reasonable
guys.
time.
Yeah, totally up to you guys. So if you guys want to just kind of maybe decide maybe next week or whatever, when you guys do one of the first one, we'll help coordinate it and get the word out for you guys. You just want to do that?
Yeah, no, I think the flexibility is key, I think that's going to work. Sometimes, other people, certain people will be available, and I do like the idea of, two people getting together and saying, hey, like, they want to do it, and then reaching out to staff and making it happen. So, wing it. Yes.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Good to go then.
Sounds good.
Just floated.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 7, announcements. First one is city manager's announcements.
I have a few. Next meeting is going to be on December 4th. We will have that'll be our next meeting, and probably our last meeting of the year. I just want to give the council an update. We're still final on the air show. I know we were trying to bring something back at this meeting, but we'll probably have it at the December meeting. We've had some late vendors submit final invoices, so we were just finalizing numbers so we can provide you a little breakdown of the air show at the December meeting. So we'll be bringing that back in December. I know there's probably some questions about gas at the airport. We're expecting to have that probably within about 3 weeks. So now that we have the agreement that's been sent to World Fuel that was approved at the last council meeting for the credit card processing, that now needs to be completed by QT Pod. And so we'll have, if there's any other updates, I'll provide them to you in my Monday update. And then if there's anything earlier than the 3 weeks, but now they're just kind of setting up the accounts, making sure everything's operational, and then definitely let you guys know when that's available for folks to start pulling fuel on their own. I had one other one. Oh yeah. So we had coffee with the first responders scheduled for, it was this Saturday, right? It's actually been postponed due to some of the weather that we're anticipating, because it was going to be outdoors. So we're postponing it to November 22nd at the same time.
Yeah, it's same place, same time.
Same place, same time. And what was that, Greg? I didn't write that far down, so.
It's going to be November 22nd at Life Tabernacle Church from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And I think that's it, Mayor Pro Tem.
Council members' announcements or reports.
I just want to announce, it was a great council meeting today. Thank you for all the staff, what they do, fire, PD. Welcome, welcome. Very important for everybody. Maintenance, thank you, for speaking out. Really appreciate it. And everybody that came out to participate and for the next seat. And don't forget Oilers, if you can make it. They have championship in Avenel, juniors, and then high school goes to Templeton.
So I would also like to thank the city staff and the city workers, the maintenance crews. Thank you for coming and expressing your concerns. That does resonate with us. We appreciate you coming to the meeting. We appreciate everyone that continues to attend. And I just want to close with the fact that I really have thought that this is one of the best councils that I've been on in a long time. And that's from everybody here, everyone from city treasurer to the council. And we've definitely started off with some high-end differences that we were able to come out and work out. Me and Mayor Horn at the time, we had some differences, and we had some differing opinions, and we still have different opinions, but we figured out how to work together. And I just want to really thank everybody for making that happen. And I think this is a special time in Coalinga, and I think the public can see it. Because I've seen, I used to think it was a great idea when we had this place packed, but now when I talk to the public, they say, you know what, we appreciate what you guys are doing up there, and we like the mannerisms that are happening. And so I want to thank Councilman Hedgecock specifically for working with myself to understand some of the things that we have in common with Mayor Horn and also Councilman Schindler as well. For helping make us the great team that we are. And then I really want to talk about that Mayor Horn showed me a lot when he was mayor on ways that he did things that I did things differently. And I did absolutely take some of those things and move forward with them. and I really do appreciate everything that you've done, and you will be well missed in this community. And I know that this is Coalinga, so I know you will be coming back. You will. It'll happen. So with that, I will leave it to the mayor's announcements.
Yeah, we'll see. I've moved away twice before and came back, so this town, it drags you in like a magnet. My son didn't quite say a lot. He's actually 5th generation here, and my granddaughter is generation 6 in this city. And the Horns will be here for a very long time. They're not going anywhere. One of the things that I've had to explain to people is I'm not leaving. I am not leaving. I am moving. If I was leaving, I would never come back to my home. This is my home regardless of where I'm at in this world. This is still my home. And I will still speak up and fight for this city, no matter what. The entire staff over the last, well, close to 25 years now, 20 years prior, I actually worked for Councilman Schindler, and I got to work firsthand with all of the public works. I got to learn the insides and outsides, the things that they wanted to see, what things that they wanted or that they needed. So I was able to kind of explain in a different side from actually being there and actually working with them in the field. So I was able to bring some of that in. So far, not a lot of questions have been asked from council. My biggest priority was to get on council and stop the bickering bullshit. And that's exactly what was going on. And within, I'd say 2 years, once we got to the council that we're at now, it stopped. It completely stopped. It went away. We are all on the same page. Even if we have a difference of opinion, we know where it needs to go and the only way to move forward. Watching this city kind of go up and down, it's been the same ever since the earthquake. There's not really a lot that we can do about it. One of the things that we have done the last 5 years is every conference that we go to, we have put Coalinga on the map. I've there for a few years, I had other cities calling me, asking how. They wanted to know what we were doing so they could do it. And this is bigger cities that have budgets that are 100 times the size of ours, but they don't have the staff in the council that actually gets along. Now I believe all of our staff, and I can say that, our staff, they're fairly well on the same page. You know, nobody's ever going to agree on everything whatsoever. One of the things I'm going to miss, though, is the staff. And coming in and asking my stupid questions, no matter how dumb they were, and actually get an answer. I learned that a long, long, long time ago. Ask questions no matter what it is. Somebody will have an answer for you. And Sean was one of the ones that actually would answer a bunch of those dumb questions out of nowhere, even when he was in a hurry. He was able to think on the fly, which is why he's a good fit here, to stay here. And Shannon, any other questions that I needed, she was able to answer. Same thing with Mario. I just got to recently help with an event that he did for his first annual, and I got to say it turned out really good. Definitely really good. I think it'll be a lot bigger turnout next time. Now, with some of the things that I've done in the community, a lot of people don't know. Okay, the ones that know me do. So, for instance, I helped out with the Salvation Army for 20 years, helping with food drives, everything, Christmas programs. I've also done, I had a DJ and sound engineering business. I finally retired from that after 30 years. Out of the last 15 years-ish, I have done all the middle school dances, and the last 5 years, I have also done their graduations at zero cost to the school. Over the years, as they take that into their senior year, it's an average of about $15,000 that each class does not have to go and earn because they didn't have to pay a DJ. I did that on purpose. While my kids were in school, they got it for free. So I'm hoping, I have a nephew that is wanting to show interest in it, and he's willing to do the same thing as well. I was also always involved with the police department. When I was 15, I was police explorer for 3 years. And I was always getting involved with the police department, which is why no matter if they do wrong or good, I'm just gonna support them 100%, no matter what it is. If they're getting complaints, that means they're doing their job. Same thing with city public works staff, all of them. If they're getting complaints, that means they're doing their job. People just are too scared or afraid to ask questions, or they don't know how to ask the questions. So, you know, I would suggest, like I said, ask questions, no matter how dumb or goofy they are, do it anyways. You'll learn something. And get involved. Come in at least once a week if you can, and spend time with the staff. Come and talk to them. They allow citizens to come in. You have to schedule. Same thing with the police department, the fire department. All their facilities, you can schedule and actually see what's really going on. Certain things you won't know until you actually become on council. You learn a lot more. One of the things I can vouch for all of us is we knew jack squat when we got in the seat. Now we know the insides and outsides of what makes a city run and what makes it strive. And that's our biggest thing, is to make sure that we continue to strive. Coalinga's been here for a long damn time, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So, Lonnie, he's known me my entire life. Councilman Schindler, we've known each other now for, I'd say, about 23, 24 years now. And Manny, we've known each other as long as even before he came to Coalinga, we knew each other because he was just in Huron. We grew up together. Councilman Vosberg, I met after him and some of his family actually came to town. I know some of the stuff that's gone in the past, which is in the past for a reason. One of the things that I've actually been proud to do is actually keep an eye on his grandmother. I lived across the street from her for 15 years now. And out of that 15 years, I had to pick her off the ground twice. Nobody else was around. And of course, it scared the crap out of me. That woman was one tough woman, very tough. She broke a hip and still walked just to go sit down. So I don't just do stuff for my own family. I do stuff for the entire community. The entire community is my family. Even if I don't know you, you're still family. So maybe someday in the future, 5, 10 years, whichever, I might come back and stir it up some more. Because, this is my hometown. Don't think that won't be on social media now, because now I don't have to worry about getting myself in trouble. Nothing bad though. I never get on there and say derogatory stuff towards another person. It's not fair to them without saying it face to face. So just so you know. With that being said, I'm going to miss everybody here until I come back. Okay, with that being said, we'll move on to future agenda items. Are there any future agenda items tonight?
I got one. I'd like to see a Brown Act training class for the council set up for early next year.
No, this year.
Well, January. This year's almost over, so January-ish.
Let's go.
Any more?
I got a couple of them. This one's probably not going to be really popular, but hear me out. And I've talked to a lot of people about this, and it keeps coming around, and it keeps getting mentioned. People want to see access to the city services 5 days a week. I'm not talking about changing your schedule to everybody working 5 days a week, but there's got to be a solution to this. So I'd like to have a future agenda item to kind of explore the possibilities there. And number two, we were at League of Cities, and I don't know if you remember or not, but we stopped by a booth that did this calendar, community calendar.
I'll provide you an update at the next meeting.
Okay, yeah, I would like to see that.
We have a quote and everything for it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other council? Okay, I forgot one person in my little spiel of garbage. Scott Netherton. Once I've known him for a long time too. We weren't close friends. I knew him through my brother and other family members. But in the last 5-6 years, we've really connected. He jumped into a position with dealing with the Chamber of Commerce and being a director in there with having no knowledge of what's what, because there was absolutely nothing there for him to go off of. And he's, over these years, have made it to what it is now. And from day one, I've been proud to stand there side by side with him. I think this last event was the only one that he didn't really help out with, and Derby. But other than that, me and him were out there at the crack of dawn and until the sun was down. And then everybody else was gone, and we still had to sit there and finish. So, and he's a go, 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 and I'm a go, go, go. So it worked out great. Now he's got to find somebody else that's willing to get off their butts and go, 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 and keep up. It's not easy to do, I can tell you that right now. I've been go, go, go my entire life, so it was natural to me. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you've taught me over these years, to think a little bit different in certain situations, being a business owner as well. I think it made a big difference on seeing things differently, seeing people different than what you're normally seeing or hearing. You're seeing the real person, and I see the real person. You're Kalinga, and I'm proud to say I'm your friend. Okay, move on to closed session. We've got 5 items tonight. I'll just leave it at that. Meeting adjourned.